Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Military Mondays. For those of you who do not know who I am retired Major Brenda Sanchez, and I am the co-founder of Life's Real Currency with my husband, Michael Sanchez, and we help businesses grow their business. And I bring you these Military Mondays every single Monday morning because I like to highlight veteran business owners that I have in my circle of influence to share with you. So if you are a veteran business owner or the spouse of a veteran, please reach out to me because I'd love to get to know you and potentially host you on one of my Military Mondays. But without further ado, I have an amazing lady on with me today. Crystal and I met just recently, actually, through BNI, which is Business Networking International. And we just had a conversation last week and learned of our backgrounds and some similarities. And I found out that she had served also in the service, and I wanted to highlight her. So welcome today, Crystal. Thanks for being on. I really appreciate you. So tell us a little bit, you and I had a conversation last week, and it's kind of an interesting story how you got into the Army, because my understanding is pretty much all of your family is Navy. So share with everybody, why Army?
That is correct. My family is a Navy family. Both of my grandfathers served in World War II. I have multiple uncles that served, and two of my three brothers served, along with cousins and you name it. So I chose the Army. I blame my family on that because they took me to a drive-in theater to see Jaws at the age of 4. And I have had a fear of the ocean and sharks since then. So I was not going in the Navy. So when we look at the family wall of pictures of my family, I'm the green person in the middle. Everybody else is in their sailors.
That's a fun, well, not so fun at 4 years old seeing Jaws, but a fun story. So you were a medic, right, in the service? And you served for how long?
3 years.
3 years. And when you got out of the service, you've done a couple of different things. I know your husband and you now currently own gyms and that, right?
Yes. So when I got out, it was easy for me to fall into the medical field. So I was hired by a staffing agency here in town. I was new to the area. I actually moved here because of my military friends telling me that Colorado Springs was such a great area and to move there. And so I came here and didn't know anybody or anything. So I was hired by a staffing agency so I could, one, try out a lot of different variety in the medical field, but also learn the town. So I worked hospice, home care, nursing homes, hospitals, got a job in the ICU as a critical care tech, and then decided to take my GI Bill and go back to college and became a welder for a while. So I worked as a welder for about 4 years down in Colorado Springs. And then I met my husband now, and I had a personal trainer at the time who I was training with twice a week, the bodybuilding competition together, and had a great time. And they said, why don't you get back in the medical field again, but on a different level, so to become a personal trainer. So that's what I did, working for 24-hour fitness here in Colorado Springs. And then my husband and I decided to open up our own gym and become entrepreneurs. So he left corporate America and I left the only kind of jobs I ever knew, which was being an employee. And so, and then I recently, how I met you, started my own personal training business. So yes,
awesome.
That's what we've done.
Awesome. And so I want to go back to the welding because I thought that was another interesting piece in your story, because other people are going to be able to relate, I think, to why go to become a welder, and what was it that made you take a different path for a number of years?
Well, after Desert Storm, I didn't decompress very much. So I was forward, and our unit was in 3 battles. And I thought I had dealt with it. I thought everything was fine. I came back. I had a real hard time getting back into civilian life. That was a real struggle for me. But I just threw myself into work, 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 work. And then when I got in Memorial working in the ICU, over time in that high stress environment, I just literally burned out. And so I went to the counselor at Pikes Peak Community College and said, this is my background. I grew up on a farm. I've done this. I did this in the military. I need a job where nobody's life is determined on me. There's no crises happening right now. So I can, and nobody's going to bother me. I can just be left alone and have a job all on my own to just do some self-healing. And so he recommended welding. So I said, sure, that's great, because I put my helmet on and I start my torch and nobody's going to bother me. And that's when I hired a trainer as well, and just got really, healed myself. So yeah, I find that as a real big time of healing for me.
Awesome. And so, being in the personal training space now and owning your own business, now owning a gym with your husband and the personal trainer, you know, in the military, we learn lots of skills, both hard and soft skills, that I think lends itself to being your own entrepreneur and owning your own business. And from your experience, what would you say some of those skills are that you believe you learned in the service that make you successful today?
Organization is the big one. Responsibility. Integrity is huge, because I think as a business owner, if you don't have integrity, then your business isn't going to have a good reputation. You're not going to have a good reputation. I think rolling with the knocks, being able to handle things that come up that you have no idea were going to come up. Learning to improvise has probably been the best thing I learned from the military. In everyday life, really, just do with what you have and make it work.
Awesome. And so, as a personal trainer, there are a lot of personal trainers that are at gyms or things like that, but you have a unique model where you go to people's homes and help them so that they don't, we talked about this, you know, here in Colorado Springs, I don't know about in the rest of the world, but here in Colorado Springs, I think there's a gym every 2 miles because people won't travel more than 2 or 3 miles to get to a gym. You were talking about a friend down in, was it Alabama or something, Louisiana? They had to drive an hour or something to get to a gym. And you wouldn't have that here, not in Colorado Springs. Maybe out, not even Falcon Payton, but maybe way out in the plains of Colorado or something. So you actually bring the experience to them right in their home. So tell me about that.
Well, as we've owned multiple gyms over the years. We have one now, but over our 14 plus years of being gym owners, we've just heard over and over and over again that people were like, they would think, well, for time, I'm just gonna stop my gym membership. I'm buying home equipment. I'm gonna start working out at home to save the commute, to save, I mean, just all kinds of things. To them, it just sounds like it makes sense. I have the equipment in my home. No matter what my schedule, I can always carve out half an hour, 45 minutes, run down, do a quick workout, and off I go. And then we just heard time and time again where people would come back about a year or so later and say, I need my gym membership back because I don't even think I worked out one time. So when I wanted to start personal training again, I didn't want to go back into the gym environment, and I wanted a home business. So I thought that would be a unique business to be able to help those people that do want to make that transition to be able to work out from home, because there are some pluses. Obviously, I love the gym environment, and I am in no way discouraging a gym membership because I think they're great. You can't put a huge gym in your home. But for time management and people that feel that need, not knowing that COVID was coming, that to me was like a niche for me to just be able to get in and just help those people that were looking for something along those lines.
Yep. And so I don't know of many personal trainers that actually go into people's homes. You know, they'll do it online and they'll do it via Zoom, or they'll do workout videos and that's at home. So I think you're the first person I know that actually goes to somebody's home. So that's really,
Me too.
really cool. So if there are other people out there, maybe that have a military background, that are thinking they wanted to be a personal trainer, would they be able to reach out to you and maybe have a conversation and talk to you? Because you're brand new at this. Like, this is what, 8 months old, this business?
Correct. Yes, I actually got my first 3 certifications in December, and then filed for my business license for Colorado, and then I started advertising and accepting clients toward the end of January. So yeah.
Nice. Nice. So
And yes, absolutely, people can reach out to me. I would absolutely love to share what I've learned.
awesome. Well, I wanted to feature you today because it's a unique model. I also want to stress that, you know, Crystal's done a couple of different things. She even was a welder for a while to escape life, because we know that when we transition out of the military, it can be pretty traumatic. It can be a hard transition, especially in certain career fields, out of the military and into a civilian life, or owning your own business. So sometimes you just have to do what you need to do to overcome that obstacle of getting out, and find what you can do for a few years. And sometimes what you do for a few years isn't what you're going to do forever. And so when I was talking to Crystal last week, she has just such a breadth of background. And I was like, wow, I didn't realize everything that this lady has done in her life. And she's pretty amazing. So I wanted to bring her on today. So do you have any words of wisdom for those that might be getting out of the service right now, or are considering retiring or getting out in the next 3 to 5 years, as they're making that transition? Do you have any words of advice for them?
I think just reaching out to people. I think when I got out in '91, it was a lot harder to reach out. There wasn't the internet and texting, and you had to write a letter or call somebody on the phone. And as you know, people in the military move a lot. So I think just staying in touch with people, and staying connected, doing things, meeting new people, and just kind of getting yourself back out there again, is very helpful. And then just being open, like you said, what you may choose to do right now, it doesn't have to be what you do for the next 5, 10 years. Had I not become a welder, I wouldn't have met my husband. I wouldn't be where I am today, which is a great place. So don't look at things in the negative, look at things in the positive. That just do things that you know you need to do to take care of you.
Yeah, and get outside your comfort zone. I know today for Crystal is outside her comfort zone. I know BNI is outside her comfort zone big time. And so I applaud you for doing the things that are outside your comfort zone that you know you need to do to grow your business. So thank you so much for being on today. I really appreciate you. I'll have Crystal drop below in the comments her contact information and how you can reach out to her. And if you're in the Colorado Springs area, especially in North Colorado Springs and like Monument, Palmer Lake, or Briargate area, that's where she focuses her business right now. So reach out to her if you'd like to have a personal trainer in your own home. And we look forward to seeing all of you on another Military Monday. If you've found value, please share this with your network, because we'd love to get the word out, and I would love to get connected with more people so that we can do some more interviews with veteran business owners. So with that, have a fabulous week, everybody. And thanks again, Crystal. We'll see you next Monday. Bye, everyone.